Today is Thursday. We are live, guys. So welcome everybody. This is Echo Means Business. Ask us anything. So tonight we are going to talk to Mike Gunn, Jay, and Dylan, and we're waiting for some questions to come in. I got a couple questions right now, but this is Echo Means Business. This is a community for other green industry pros, and we are brand neutral company that likes to have all kinds of fun stuff. So right now, let's go introduce our first guest, Mike Gunn. Go ahead, Mike.
What's up? Mike Gunn here in beautiful Noblesville, Indiana, and own Gunn Landscaping, host of the Lawn Care Community Podcast, and over on the YouTube as well.
All right, Jay. What about you, Jay?
What's up, guys? Jaymz Shields with Second Mile Landscaping and Lawn Care, hailing from Nashville, Tennessee.
All right, Dylan. How you doing, Dylan?
What's going on, guys? Good. Dylan with Solo Cuts Landscaping. We're based out of Springfield, Ohio. And right now, as you can see, we're in the car because we're on our way to the lake for a few days. So hopefully this goes all smooth. As you can see, we've got kiddos in the back. So yeah, look forward to this.
Nice. And I'm your host, Scott, from Landscapes by Acme. So we're going to ask, a bunch of these UAG guys some questions and see what kind of questions you got. Some of the stuff we're going to try to keep PG. They could be, kind of like you're on a dating game right now with all the questions I'm going to ask you, but, try to keep it PG, guys. Okay. I know we got kids in the background. Dylan's got his kids and his wife, so that's fine. But, he's got the earring on, so we're good. So my first question to you guys, okay, we're going to say, what's your favorite sports team? Go ahead. Just go around the block to everybody.
What are sports?
What are sports? Yeah. Something that we try to follow sometimes. I only follow college sports. And then, so I follow Notre Dame. I don't know about you guys if you follow any football or college or pros.
Yep, college football typically, and I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan. So that's my main sport. I don't really watch too much professional. I do watch golf a lot. That's one of my fortes, I guess. But football wise, that's my team. Go Blue.
Nice. What about you, Jay?
So obviously being from Nashville, man, you got to be a Titans fan, and
Right.
I also like the Nashville Predators, a hockey team. So Titans are pretty excited, man. We got Julio Jones this year, so we'll see what happens, man. Maybe make something work. So
you never know. I mean, he's a good football player, so definitely.
He is, man. He is.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? I mean, you said sports. What's that? So you probably
I'm just kidding. I've never really been the biggest sports fan. I guess Colts back in the day, I like to watch them, make those goals and shoot the hoops, and Colts football team. Yeah, that's about it. That was a joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I mean, being, it's kind of hard when you're working 24 hours a day sometimes to actually,
Sure.
Especially with a new baby with you, you got that new baby. It probably keeps you busier than anything to watch any sports.
For sure.
Next question. We're going to go with, what did you guys want to be when growing up? Let's go to Jay. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Oh, wow. That's tough. It kind of changed, man. You can talk to my mom about that. I was very involved in church growing up, and so kind of wanted to be a youth minister for a little bit. I loved doing youth work and doing inner city mission work. Very passionate about it. Still am to this day. It's hard running a business, man, to make time, but I mean, I feel like you need to, and you should. Just feel better when you do. So still try to give back where I can, but for a little bit, man, I wanted to be a youth minister. Took a lot of Christian theology and world religions and all that kind of stuff in college. So I was going for it, but then ended up just kind of cutting grass. The rest is history, man,
Right. Well, that's good that, you keep into it. That's the main thing. Is it's always good to give back, especially with the youth today. And, and and they are the people that are going to eventually run the country. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you can keep them going, any which way, that's awesome. Mike, what do you wanted to be? Oh, well, Dylan's interrupt. So
A
No, I was going
musician.
to make a comment on Jay's,
Hey,
what Jay was
don't
going to
interrupt
be
me.
doing. When you talk about youth ministry,
Right.
I always did Young Life when I was younger in school and everything. That's why I was like, that was such like an impactful part of life that time. I've been doing that. So like, I would say like if that is something you're passionate for, like go for it too, because that impacts. I know at least for when I was younger, that was a impactful time, especially when you can relate to people. The like high school kids, whatever, and you can kind of hang loose a little bit with them. But no, I just thought that was pretty cool. So
awesome. So Mike, you want to interact?
Well, yeah, before I was rudely interrupted. Wait, what was the question? Growing up, musician. I mean, a lot of people know that I wanted to go to school. I was going to go down to Florida for, whatever it was called, music degree of some sort.
Right.
And I always thought I was going to be a rock star, So, but then you grew up a little bit and realized that, the odds of that happening are not in your favor. But I mean, there's a lot of people.
You could contact Wally from Beach River, and you guys could try to start your own band.
Yeah, and I've played in the band and church bands and all that a lot, in my adulthood, I guess, life. But that was, you asked me about sports earlier, and honestly, like I grew up on music and jamming and in bands and all that, and that was always my go-to, my outlet, which we all need outlets, like like you were saying, and I wanted to be a rock star.
Nice. Now we call you rock star Gunn. So
I was always told I had a good stage name. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll go with it.
Good name.
We'll go with it.
Is. Yeah.
Sound like a nice lead guitarist, Mike.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. So Dylan, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
For the longest time, I actually wanted to be a chef when I grew up. How about that English? No, I wanted to be a chef when I grew up. My mom was a phenomenal cook, and I don't know, I just always, ever since I was younger, it was just always something I wanted to do. I enjoyed being in the kitchen. I grew up watching Emerald Live. If you guys ever remember him back on the Food Network.
Yeah.
But chef was what I wanted. Yeah, but if it was weird because like I didn't end up doing that. I went to school for accounting, but I was like, oh, nah, because I did a couple like job shadows, and they're like, you work a lot of hours, all this and that, and then it's just funny how full circle it is, where it's like, oh, now look at me now, working more hours probably than what they do. So
are you the cook now in your household? I mean, you got to be careful. Be careful. She's sitting right there.
No, Jordan knows. Yep, I'm the cook of the. Not that she doesn't cook, but predominantly, like especially when it comes like working the grill and all that, like that would be that's my ticket. But she does grill. She does cook. She does. But no, like it's just always something I've always had a passion for and I enjoy doing. So
nice. Well,
Same
you're
here.
Have to cook us up sometime when we all get together. Maybe at GIE, get you and put you on the grill or something.
Bring portable grill, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Maybe I'll just hop up there with the hibachi guys. Be like, step aside. Let me show
we don't need something big. We'll just get a little one, put it out in the parking lot of GIE and just cook out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly.
Might be able to sell hot dogs or something on the side or something.
I'd buy one just to support, man.
Yeah. We'll just sell them off to everybody, and then donate the money back to a church or something nearby. So
absolutely.
Definitely a big help, So I wanted to be a cartoonist. I was always into comics, cartoons, drawing. I took drawing all the way through high school. And then, I still love to draw. My family says I'm a pretty good drawer still. So I haven't drawn a lot in years. So that's pretty much what I wanted to be, was a cartoonist. So, my main dream was to go work for Marvel a long time ago, and I never pushed forward for it. So, I mean, that was my main dream. So, and that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. So, but everything changes when you get older and got to go get a job. So, all right. So our next question, and this goes out to everybody. What's your most embarrassing moment on the job or off the job? And keep it PG now.
I got one of each, dude. Which one do you want?
Well, we want to keep viewers, but we want to keep it kind of risque, but not, too risque. So,
Well, it's like Disney. They can tell stories and, where the parents get it, but the
Right.
kids, it goes over their head. So I don't know.
Yeah, you got to tell it in just the right way. So, I mean, if, maybe I could draw something up, and we can put it off to the side or whatever. So, but, so what's yours, Jay? Let's go with you. What's your most embarrassing?
Like I said, I got one that sticks out in my mind business wise, and then I got one that's a personal one. So
all right,
both just automatically stick out. Business wise, I was doing a landscaping job. And this was in 2017. Biggest landscaping job I'd ever done, and I was like, dude, this is it. I'm big time, whoop de whoop, and I'm grading this area, rented a Bobcat, didn't know how to drive it, was learning, on the fly kind of stuff. I was back dragging, grading out this area in the front of 21st Avenue in Nashville. And if you've ever been over there, it's a really, really nice area uptown. I was doing it for a realty company that was moving in their new facility. And they were like, their guys working with me, Jaymz, I think some water's bubbling up. And I mean, if you guys ever seen Beverly Hillbillies, like when the crude oil starts popping up out of the ground, I'm like, I'm looking out of the Bobcat. I'm like, oh man, I get out of the Bobcat, dude, it erupts like a geyser. I mean, it's shooting up. And I was like, oh, this is it. My business is done. I'm tanked, I'm freaking out. Dude, it was so much water going down 21st Avenue. Like you could have rowed a canoe down it. It was nuts. And
nice.
I called Metro Water, for Nashville, and they're like, and it was a Friday afternoon at like 4. So they were all, nobody was coming. And this was before I knew to keep a water key with me too,
Right.
And, like I said, you learn all this stuff. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll come out Saturday. One of our guys will come out, turn it off. And I came back out Saturday morning. Of course, it had all dried up because it was so hot. But come to find out, it was like an old cast iron, line that they didn't even use, clay pipe kind of thing. And I ended up just cutting it flush with a Sawzall and putting a, kind of cap on it and then covering it up. But it turned out to be a lot less crazy than I thought it was going to be. But I was so scared, man. But I was on pins and needles all day long, scared half to death after that happened. And all the guys were working with me, it's going to be okay, man. Nothing's going to happen. I'm like, dude, I'm getting sued. I'm going to shut down. I'm going to jail, like I'm freaking out. So, and everybody that knows me, I mean, the guys that worked with me on that job, we still laugh about that to this day, because it was insane the amount of water. I mean, it looked like a water ride, dude. And it was kind of going down a hill. So, I mean, you could have really just rode it,
Right.
So full send, but it was nuts. So that was pretty embarrassing because I was acting like I knew what I was doing and I really didn't,
Right. That's amazing. I would have loved to see that. Definitely. What about you, Dylan? Anything that's embarrassing that's been at work or anything?
Yeah, so it actually happened this year. So it was a new client of ours. They were actually referred to from a larger company that like I do winter work for and stuff, and kind of like I'd say like a local mentor. So anyways, it was like my second time cutting this property. It was, I don't think it was the first. I think it was the second. It's just a large property, beautiful house, beautiful lawn. But they have a creek that runs through the middle, like kind of splits the property. Okay. Well, they had a bunch of washout. It's not like how Mike, you've done the riprap, down the sides to keep from the road in.
Yeah.
They have yet to do that yet. So it's like the ground, like here's the surface up here, and then the bank cuts in and goes back into the creek. Like, so it's just washing out as time goes on.
Right.
Sure enough, I was just running a border around that, and the grass just gave out.
Wow.
So like my mower is just sitting down in this in the creek. Almost. Not in the creek though. Like it is just barely hanging on. And all I could think of was like, these people have, you know, $750,000 home. They went from having a multi-million-dollar company mow their lawns, and then here's Dylan pulling up for the second time, and he dumps a mower in the creek. So we end up having to call my buddy with a skid loader to come pull it out because of where it was. Like, we was afraid to get the truck down there, and but they were super nice. They're super nice people. I went to school with their kids, but still, that was just embarrassing. I've never had that happen, and especially for it to be like one of our like high profile clients, and I dump a mower in their creek. I was like, ugh. So yeah, that was me. Yeah, and I mean, I was afraid I was going to get wet, and luckily it didn't happen. But I thought for sure I was going to get wet.
Wow. At least you didn't get wet, or the mower didn't get too wet either. You know, because I've seen mowers getting dropped into lakes, and it's not fun once it's in there. It's pretty much gone at that point. So
yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Just the bank held it up just perfectly to where like the tire was just dipping. Like it's like dipping.
Company I used to work for, the owner, he actually dumped it was a walk behind, like a Ferris walk behind. This was like 12, 13 years ago or whatever, but he put it in the pond and it went all the way. Couldn't even see it. I mean, straight down. We had to get a record truck out there just to get it out, because the mowers, we tried with 2 mowers to pull it out. It wasn't happening. I'm sitting here thinking I'm the last guy, you know, or whatever to talk. And like, I can't think of one particular. I know I've had them, but one popped in my head and it happened again today. And tell me if you guys have ever experienced this, or anybody watching. Like, every time the client comes out to talk to you, you know, landscaping gig or whatever, and you're talking to them for a while, and then they go back inside and you look down and your fly's down, you know, your zipper. I mean, dude, it happened again today. It's like, why does this always happen to me every time? Dude, I mean, that's an embarrassing thing. And then it's like, they're not going to say anything, you know?
No.
Or you didn't notice that hole in your pants, like you
right? Yeah, it was a little breezy, but I mean, like, you know.
That's when you hope that that good guy you got working with you. Hey, man, you know,
right?
Yeah. Then when they don't say nothing, you're like, hey, thanks for having my back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happens.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
What about you, Scott?
I'd say my most embarrassing moment. We used to mow a big account. Well, we still do. We've been mowing it for like 15 years, but we used to have a bunch of crews out there, and so one day it was hot, and we used to make our guys split between buying lunch. And the one guy didn't have no money to buy lunch, and there's this big pond, and it started downpouring, and I mean, the houses faced this pond, and we started getting change together, the guys that were in our truck, and we're like, okay, well, we got $4. You buy a pizza for everybody, you know, and he's like, well, give me $2 more. So he had to call the other truck behind me, and I said, well, we need $2 more. We got $2? And they're like, yeah. He jumped out of the truck for $6, took his shirt off, took his boots off, and swam across this pond and back. And I felt the most embarrassed because literally we're there. Company names are on the truck. All these customers are probably looking at us because they know that we're there mowing this property. And he's just swimming this pond in the middle of the downpour and jumps back in the truck. And then after we're done and it stops raining because it's only a quick downpour. He's like, okay, I'm ready to go buy lunch. Are we going to buy lunch or what? And I'm like, no, we just started this place. We got to finish this place now. So
you're about to weed eat soaking wet, buddy.
He's like, I'm soaked. My pants are soaked. I'm like, well, at least your boots aren't soaked and your shirt's not soaked. You got that for you. But
if a customer would have came out, I would have told him, like, dude, he was swarmed by a bunch of killer bees. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
Scott, I got one more really good one that happened this year. Mike, we were talking about this earlier before it started. Just hiring people a little rough around the edges, you know.
Yeah.
Had a guy worked with me 3 days. He came by the house, real respectful guy. He kept calling me boss man. I'm like, dude, I'm 30, like 32. Don't call me boss man. Just call me Jaymz, you know. And first day we're doing this landscaping job. I got my uncle running a dingo, and me and him are doing the hand shoveling, and he goes, man, I just wanted to tell you, I appreciate the job. I just got out of prison. I was like, okay, that's cool. No problem, man. That's fine. I said, hopefully, this works out. And he goes, yeah, I also have 4 kids. I was like, okay, cool. That's all right,
Right.
And he's like, well, I have a really bad drug addiction. I just wanted to let you know. I was like, hey, man, like whatever you do in your time is cool, So all day long, he's kind of feeding me information and that kind of thing. And I'm just kind of letting it go. And like real rough around the edges, mind you. And we're finishing up this little border around this area we dug out with the dingo. And dude, another guy working with me looks over. He's like, Jaymz, look. And I'm like, what? I look over. Mind you, this lady has cameras on the back of her house. Okay, she can see everything we're doing. She's been coming in and out, trying to, hey, you guys need anything? Whatever. This dude has his shoe off, has his boot off, has his sock off, foot to his mouth, biting an ingrown toenail.
Oh my God!
While we're at this lady's house, and I didn't even realize it because I'm leveling these borders, and I look. Dude, put your boot on. What are you doing? I'm freaking out, man. And Cameron's like, man, you got to fire that guy. You got to let him go, man. That's nasty. I'm like, dude, no kind of thought behind it, nothing. And I was just like, I talked to him when we got home, like, yeah, man, you can't do that anymore. I kind of figured that wasn't okay. I was like, yeah, you think,
You think? Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure it tasted good though.
Oh,
right,
dude,
yeah.
And it was gnarly looking. Like if I could
man.
Google a picture and post on the side of the screen, it was so nasty, man. People have no sense, common, I don't know, man, tact or whatever. Like it was crazy.
I had a dude come work for me within the first week. He took the truck on a rendezvous across Indianapolis.
Attaboy.
And I've got a tracker on the truck, right? And I see him making different stops. Like, I don't know. To this day, I think he was on a drug run, getting something. Because later on, I found out that, there was some drug use going on. And yeah, dude. So my logos were plastered all across the hood of Indianapolis,
Gunn landscape and off the drug.
Advertising in the best part of town.
Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up, man.
No, you can't.
No.
Oh yeah. Employees are always the best. You get some good stories out of employees.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna go off the stage because I got this list, but I see Paul the GOAT over there ask, are we going to GIE? You both all going to GIE, guys, or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. So 2019, the highlight of my GIE was meeting Paul. And there's a picture I posted on my Instagram, dude. And I'm like a giddy little schoolgirl, like talking to him, shaking his hand, like hands down one of the best conversations I had. And we talked for about 30 minutes, man. And I mean, it made my day getting to talk to him and talk shop and that kind of thing. And I love him because I'm able to text him and go, hey, what's this plant? Hey, what would go good here? And he always responds back very quick. Paul, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining in, man. So definitely going to be there for sure.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah. Gunn, you're going to be there?
Yep. Planning on it.
Cool. Yep. Dylan, you going to be there?
Yeah, same thing. I'm planning on it. Hopefully that time we're able to get a little bit of freedom because we're really going to try it. Rent. We have a staying on aerator rented off for a full month. This is our first time going to be doing aeration. So, hopefully we can get some free time. But yeah, that's the plan though, to get in there. At least if I can't stay for all 3 days, hopefully at least make it for like a day trip or something. It's really busy right now, but that's the plan.
Nice. Definitely. I definitely will be there. I will be at the Echo Means Business Social Media Lounge like they had a couple years ago. I'm sure these guys will be there too. So come on down, check us all out. There's going to be a bunch of other UAG members there. There's like about 25 of us, I think there is. So we'll be there on and off. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff going on. So definitely come over to Echo Means Business, Social Media Lounge and say hi to any of us or stop by and see any of us and say hi. We'll be glad to take a picture with you, shake hands. You might be able to touch my hair. Maybe I can tell you some special stuff,
That's all we want to do.
So, I mean, talking about that, somebody want to know my hair gel and what I use. And then, I know Gunn, you put some hair gel in too, right?
Yeah, it's like a wax or something. Crew
Wax.
something. Yeah, I just do what I'm told.
You just do what you're told.
My
what your
wife's
wife
like,
tells
this
you?
looks good when you do your hair like this. I'm like,
Right.
okay.
I use Duke Cannon's hair pomade, so that's what I use.
Hold on, are you sponsored?
No, I'm not sponsored. I'm trying to get a sponsor right now,
Get
so
on
maybe
it.
they'll sponsor me. I was trying, the Red Armor, but that kind of left my hair kind of red and a little oily. So, I kind of had to get away from that. So, but Red Armor does work good in some equipment. So that's all I got to say. Don't try it in your hair. Please don't try it in your hair. Guys.
So can we take the hedge trimmers, that we're demoing down there, just
I don't know. I don't
come
know.
on.
Maybe if we can get, maybe 100 viewers on one of these, live events, maybe I'll do it, So that's
There we go.
nice. So
Gotta make it happen.
yeah. Okay, next question. What truck do you drive and why right now? So Dylan, what kind of truck do you drive, buddy?
So one of our trucks is the 2018 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD with the work truck trim. So that was, I guess you'd say, our first official truck that we had bought for the business. But at that time of buying that truck, it was also because I was working the business part-time and still working a full-time job.
Right.
I had to have something that I could haul the little ones in. So we went with that truck. So that's our main truck. We have a dump insert, stainless steel dump insert with that we use for dump materials, whatever, and also use in the winter for bulk salt. And then this spring, about a month and a half ago, we had bought a 2010, 2012 regular cab Dodge Ram long bed.
Right.
So that's our second truck. Basically, that one is pulling a mowing trailer 4 days a week. And then we have it left over for Friday landscape. So we've been running two trucks for the past month and a half. And I want to get a regular cab for the second truck because I didn't want to put a plow on my truck, on the newer truck. It's a crew cab. It's long bed, so it's just a big unit to be pulling in. If you have tight areas. So we're looking at probably getting a plow on the truck for this winter on the regular cab or
Nice.
truck, and continue to do salt out of the other truck. So that's what we drive.
Nice. So I want to just point out something. Brian's Lawn Maintenance is on there. Brian, congratulations on the new baby girl.
Congratulations, Brian.
Thanks for joining us. I know he's probably busy with the baby, but so Mike, what do you drive? I know you got that new truck this year, so
yeah, you want me to tell the whole story?
Oh yeah, tell us some fun stories.
So I've always been a Chevy man and GM and all that growing up, and then in March I got hit head on in my truck and totaled out. So the lady's insurance that hit me head on bought me a new truck, and it's a Ram 3500 Cummins.
Nice.
And I love it. Coming from GM, nothing against GM. I love GM. But this spring was rough to buy a truck.
Right.
So as this one was coming off the trailer, like off the semi at the lot, I was like, yeah, I want that one. So it ended up working out, but I love it, man. It's got all the power you could ever want. I just put in for any truck gurus out here. Sorry, I'm swatting mosquitoes. It's a Banks pedal monster, and it makes the pedal feel more active, and it gives it a little bit more power. It doesn't change the horsepower or anything, but it just totally changes the feel of the truck. So it's fun. And it's a crew cab, a full crew cab this time, so the family loves it.
Right.
And it actually worked out. It's amazing how it worked out. But it's all worked out now, and I love that truck. And then I've also got an 06 Silverado that I've had forever. She's still my baby,
Right.
And we run that as well. And it tows the smaller trailers or the enclosed trailer, My truck will tow the dump trailer, the heavier stuff, the skid steer, things like that. So, but yeah, it's funny how things change and how they work out too. But I love my trucks. Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't gotten a plow for it yet or anything. I've got the plow that came off the other truck. I still got to buy the bracket and all that. But
what year is that truck? Is that brand new?
yeah, it's a 2021. Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that? About the whole putting a plow on a brand new? Does it kind of make you cringe on the inside a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it did.
You want to say
it did on
it's
my
a work truck, but it's like,
it
did really.
It did on my last truck, dude. Like when I bought it, I bought it and got the plow on it and all that at the same time. And but that's how we make our living in the wintertime. So it's like you buy a truck to use it, you gotta. Yeah, I mean that's what you have it for, to make money. So yeah, it's hard on your truck, and I'm kind of up in the air just to kind of be totally upfront right now with snow removal this winter, whether I'm even gonna partake in it again. Right. Maybe I'll just do salting or whatever and sub out all my plowing. And I've also been kind of looking down some other avenues, and we do a lot of builds and stuff in the wintertime when the weather is good, which wasn't so much last year, but yeah, it's rough putting the plow on a brand new truck.
Would you consider a push box on the skid?
Yeah, I've looked at those too. I'm still looking at those. Yep. And just keep that at some of our larger. Do you, Scott? I'm actually if I stay with it, I'm gonna go to the V box, and then now that we got the skid steer, I'm gonna do the bulk salt. I found a manufacturer, not manufacturer, but somebody that sells bulk salt about 45 minutes from me, so we can go pick it up at the dump trailer or have it delivered. So, I mean, that's a whole other topic I can go on and on about. Yeah. But as of right now,
the V box. Seriously, if you're interested, let me know. Guy is selling 3 of them.
Okay.
All to big. They moved on to big units. So seriously, if you're interested.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep. What about you, Jay? What do you drive?
I'm the complete opposite, man. I'm a Ford man through and through.
Nothing wrong with Fords.
Nothing wrong with them.
Nope.
I'll push my Ford every day of the week, buddy. No, I just always drove Fords. My family had them growing up, my uncles and stuff, and Dad had them. And so as I got older, that's all I drive. So my work truck is a 2002 Ford F-250, single cab long bed. Pulls my trailers, pull my dump trailer, no problem. And then my personal truck, I have a F-150 at 2009. So that's my baby, but sometimes it still gets used for work. You know how it is, Mike. You still may got to pull a trailer with it every now and again or whatever, It makes you cringe, but you're like, well, it is a truck. I got to use it,
That's what you got it for.
Especially if I got, stuff going on at the job where I need to go run and get material or whatever, it just makes sense to be able to use both trucks. But I've been talking, and this year for sure, I'm tired of using my truck for work. So even part-time, I'm going to buy another work truck next year. It's just, we just said that, but truck prices are through the roof right now, man. Used truck is $6 or $7 grand more than it was last year, and a new truck, they're not making them. It's very hard to get them. So used truck prices have gone up. So
it's the microchips. It's still a problem. If any of you guys or anybody watching, get on and KBB and look at what your truck's currently worth. And it'll surprise you. That 06, that's my baby. It's I don't know. It's pretty tempting,
I make them want to sell it, man.
It's worth that, though.
I love that truck, but
Right.
Mine are all paid off, so I'm kind of on the fence of, I don't really need a car note, but I would love to have a new truck or at least a newer used work truck, And
the title in your hand feels good, but then it's like, oh man, I could sell that. And
when you look at Blue Book, and I'm like, dude, my truck didn't depreciate at all,
Nope. No, not at all. Not at all. Well, if you come to my shop right now, I have 3 trucks in the lot. I have a 2000 Ford F-350 dump truck sitting there. Got ready to go. Then I also have a 2010 GMC Sierra, 4-door, 4x4. We plow with that and the dump truck. And then right now I also have a 2021 Dodge 2500 in the lot. So I have one of each right now in the lot. So I'm not afraid of Dodge, Chevy, Ford. I'll buy anything that drives, and that's what you pay for. You pay for whatever you can get and whatever you can work for. So
They're all going to have their issues.
that's right.
true.
Yeah.
You know, it's not you know, one over the other. You know, they all work the same. Especially you put them out in the field and you putting time into them and work into them. They're gonna still have their breakdowns. They're still gonna have their pluses or minuses. It, you know, everybody has their thoughts on it, but you know, some people only buy Ford, some people only buy Chevy, some people only buy Dodge. To me, it's a truck. As long as it got what you need, that's all that matters to me.
It's like
Yeah.
I grew up on Chevy, and my dad, you know, always preached Chevy. He was a retired mechanic now, and he would just Chevy, Chevy, Chevy. But even him nowadays, he's like, you know, I mean, literally, like what I just said, they all have their benefits. They're all the same in their own little ways, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
and different too.
oh yeah.
They
all have their pluses and minuses. Oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, let's go on to somebody on the thing here. Let's see here. Let's go off of. What are your guys' thoughts on cities pushing for battery operated blowers or like the quiet blowers? What are you guys thinking about that? What about Mike?
I
What do you
mean,
think?
I could go two different ways. I mean, it's
I
not
know
their
there's
call.
a lot,
I could say that.
of places that are pushing for it. So
yeah, I mean, I'll never move to California if that says anything. But I mean, honestly, if you want to look at it from a technology standpoint, it's not there yet. You know, batteries, like a lot of guys run battery powered equipment. I've got some, and it works really good. The power is surprising, but it's just not there yet with the runtime, you know, per single battery, especially for larger operations. You know, if you've got multiple crews out there of any sort, it's just not even feasible yet, you know. But when the technology gets there with some of these new batteries and technology coming out, yeah, then we're talking. Then I might look at it, you know, just simply for the fuel savings. But it's a learning curve.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, it's got a long way to go before, you know, we actually see better results on it. And you know, I'm not in a hurry for it. I'm not a big rush to get battery equipment. You know, when they actually push it all the way through and, you know, make it to where you got to have battery and less gas, maybe something to look into at that point. But I'll probably be the one that, you know, hoards gas on my property and, you know, make sure I got gas equipment going. But
I mean, the noise ordinance, it's like, I mean, why is that all of a sudden a problem, you know, other than the emissions maybe? But
I mean, there's always a noise ordinance. I mean, most of our cities, you can't do nothing till 8 o'clock. So, you know, you can still, you know, load up, get into wherever you got to go, get your gas if you got to get gas, and get to your first stop. And, you know, even if you got to sit there for a couple minutes before you can start it, I'm fine waiting to start at 8 o'clock exactly on the dot. You know, I've never had nobody come out and complain after that. So, you know, what about you, Jay or Dylan? What do you guys think about batteries? Anything? Thoughts?
Yeah, so I think Mike hit it on the head, kind of to piggyback off what he said. I wouldn't mind like multiple crews. I think it's not there yet, but I will say it's surprising though. Like for a handheld blower, I think it's good if you just need to blow something off real quick, or if you're doing hardscaping and need to clean out cracks on something. I think it's there, but I mean, I'm telling you right now, put a battery-powered backpack blower against a Red Max 8500 or an Echo 9010 or an 8010. It will not have the same amount of power, and you will be mad as all get out doing a leaf cleanup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just the bottom line. And regardless, I'll never move to California. I haven't even visited California. So, you know, like nothing against it. I'm just, you know, that's the biggest problem. And as far as the noise ordinance stuff goes, you know, we don't start till after 8:30, 9 o'clock anyway, most days, unless we're doing commercial stuff. I may get up early. But, you know, most of the time, man, I've never ran into that problem here in Nashville. But there is a thing you can, HOAs and subdivisions, you can't mow till 8 a.m. So, but
I don't know. I think a 5 a.m. Echo 9010 wake up call kind of sounds pretty fun because that sucker's loud.
Dude, sounds like a dirt bike, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we have one city here that you literally have to be done by 6 p.m. out of the city, or you get ticketed. So, I mean, that's one that you kind of got to get out there. And there's always cops running around that city. So, I mean, you kind of just, if you're there, you make sure that's your last stop, and
the alarms
hurry up
come
and get
on
in
like
and
the
out.
purge,
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
Gates are about to drop down if you don't
Right.
get out. Yeah.
You hurry up and run through the yard as fast as you can.
right.
So, any thoughts, Dylan, on that? It's about the same
Yeah.
thing.
I guess on a large scale of like, depending on your property size, I think like it's just, I don't think it's kind of possible. Like you're doing over an acre of stuff, whatever, larger, but you get into those like small like townhomes to where, I mean, they are literally like on top of one another, where like
Right.
they literally may have like 100 square foot piece of grass in front of their house, and that is it, and it's more like shrubbery or whatever. Then I can see where the battery powered equipment could come in hand, because then you can get in and out of there. And because we have a city, like say for instance in Columbus, German Village, it is a very like they if you went through there, like they are super pro like environment, all about battery powered whatever. So I think like you could go into a neighborhood like German Village, and that could be like a plus for you. And also at the same point, like you could charge a premium for it. You know what I mean? That you're coming
Yeah,
in
definitely.
there with I mean a premium, because like
Yeah.
to go spend the same amount of money on a battery powered piece of equipment on a blower, we're throwing blower or whatever, it's the same amount of money, but like you're offering more. That is like, I feel like ultimate white glove, to where like
Right.
we're not running gas,
Yeah.
we're super quiet, and you're in that. So I don't know. I think depending on the situation, I think it could work out great. But in the overall, I don't know if when the battery powered will be able to out trump a gas powered.
Yeah, and to bounce off that,
Right.
like the homeowner as well, that's a sense of pride on their end too, that they're hiring a service that's all electric, and I think that's awesome. It's
Then
just,
it's
I
like
mean,
telling their
it's
friends.
for the certain business model, you just got to figure it out. I mean, and also another thing with the batteries is like if you run enclosed trailers and things like that, you got to watch the heat this time of year
Right.
too, and make sure you're taking control of that. But
Yeah, so like
we're getting there. It's
you get in
coming.
those neighborhoods too, to where like, say for instance, they have I would say like have the money to throw around on like, oh yeah, we're hiring, like then you start getting into where like, I hate to say it, but like it could be a conversation piece. They're like, oh yeah, who maintains your stuff? Well, we do, and they charge this much, and their battery power, whatever. Like, I don't know. When you start getting into that area to where people really care about battery and will pay a premium, I don't know. I think I can see both ends of it, and I can see it could be super beneficial. And heck,
Right.
in the dog days of summer, if I'm going out and doing a bunch of shrub trimmings and they're small like that, I wouldn't mind getting out there at 6 a.m. and knowing I'm even there. That'd be pretty nice. Be done by 12 before the heat.
Yeah. I used to use them when they first came out, like around some of our office buildings up next to the windows, where people at that time were actually in there working, and I felt better about it because you weren't blazing the hedge trimmers, around the office building when everybody's in there trying to work, so it can be a selling point in many different avenues for sure.
Definitely. All right. So the next one, this one's going to be kind of, like I said, the dating game kind of question. So, is there any guilty pleasures you guys indulge in? Okay. So contestant 1, Dylan.
That's real funny, huh? Yeah. You win. Guilty pleasures that I indulge in.
Golf.
Yeah. I see a lot. You do a lot of golfing. So
yeah, I try to get out when I can. I had a tournament this year that I played a lot more this year than what I typically would do. And I think since the tournament, I don't know if I've even played since the tournament. No, that's always been a passion of mine. Like it's something my dad can play pretty well too. So I guess that'd be a little guilty pleasure where it's like, if I can get out and play, like I'm going to get out and play. But yeah, so I'd say that, or like, something I don't know if people would know or not, but like on like YouTube wise, I don't watch a bunch of lawn care YouTube, but I'll
Right.
watch these guys. They're a younger group. They got like a group together. They collaborated. They created a company called Gunn Squad. They do a bunch of fishing, outdoor stuff, but when they get together, they do a bunch of like crazy stuff and challenges. And I don't know, but like that's one that like people probably wouldn't expect me watching or just follow them. But that's that's a bit of my
Right.
parts.
So we need to start like a YouTube page that has like challenges for lawn care and landscaping.
Hey,
I mean, we
I
probably could.
I have a heck of an idea for
Okay.
doing something that if you
Yeah.
got a solid group of like 10 guys together.
You heard it first. You
Yep.
heard it here first.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind
I'm
of game,
serious.
It's
somewhat,
proprietary
so,
information.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
if you
right.
got enough guys in Ohio, Indiana,
Yeah.
surrounding,
Yeah.
like you
I
could
mean,
make a weekend.
think-
Yeah.
yeah, I think we could get some together, Dylan. I mean,
Yeah.
you and me are not that far apart, and I know
Yeah.
Gunn's not far either. We could probably drag him in, but
Yeah.
you know,
We can find. Yeah, he's good. Just you're good, Mike.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Involuntary.
Yeah.
We're taking him for Tribune. He's coming.
right, yeah. All right, contestant number 2, Jay. Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Yeah. If you guys go through my Instagram, you can kind of tell I'm a huge video game guy. Like, love them, man, and I love equipment too. So I like tools and buying unnecessary tools, woodworking, metalworking, whatever, just tools. But video games are my thing, and I'm a collector. So I have a game room at my house, and I like going in there and just sitting and playing a little Xbox, a little PlayStation, whatever. But from being a kid, that was our time to spend with my mom and my dad. We would play games together, and so I have all my original systems from growing up. So I have a very, very big collection of games, and still collect games to this day. So huge video game guy when I'm not working. So
Nice. I mean, I love games. I mean, there's all kinds of different games you can play. So
yeah.
Just like this game, the dating game. Contestant 3, Mike Gunn. What do you got? Guilty pleasure? Why?
Yeah, kind of the same thing, I guess. Watching YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. My one that got me in trouble years ago was the shiny object syndrome that I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
And buying things because you think you need them when you actually just want them. Tools or whatever, man.
Oh yeah.
Back in that day. It wasn't all about the money. It was just about what you were doing out there and enjoying what you're doing. And then you buy all these tools and cool new things coming out and top of the line mowers and everything else. And you can get yourself in a lot of trouble real quick. So that's one of them. Another one just tonight, like jumping in the pool after a hard day, out sweating, dude. I love that, And tonight, I'm not going to say that I didn't sneak out there because the kids were home, but I might have made a little quieter approach so that they wouldn't chase after me and
Right.
come splashing around the pool and I'm just chilling, so
Right. Nice. Everybody enjoys the pool once in a while, especially when it gets hot, especially right now.
we love it,
hot,
man.
So I mean,
they're a lot of work, but they're worth
Yes,
it.
they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
I tore mine down and filled the hole because I didn't have to deal with
I've
it.
considered it many times.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is actually going to need a new liner next year. So now it's like a pivotal moment,
Oh, yeah.
This might be fun to just tear it down, but yeah.
Yeah. Me, I would say, I mean, my kids would say my guilty pleasure is the weather. I mean, I usually watch the weather. Weather's nonstop on, especially when we're at the shop. I have a TV in the shop, but Gunn can contest to that. So, but that's usually the weather's on all the time. But between that and being on the phone talking to customers, and I think that's one of my biggest guilty pleasures is talking to customers nonstop about little things. I mean, they'll call me all the time or text me or email me, or I'm on there looking at Instagram or checking out YouTube or TikTok or something. And I say that's one of my biggest guilty pleasures is the phone, I would say. So
Yeah.
I can't. It's kind of hard to get away from sometimes, and but you got to make the time sometimes. yeah, when when the children go to sleep, I'm probably
Yeah.
on it probably like 3 hours, making all my stuff up. So
I don't know what it is this year. Maybe you guys can relate, but like everybody wants to text you and call you after hours,
oh yeah,
and I don't ever remember it being this bad, but like I found myself like I have to cut it off. Like even if I
right,
see it come up on the phone, I'm like, nope, not touching it till tomorrow,
right.
because then it just gets you worked up and you're back into that mode again.
Oh
You got
yeah,
to learn to turn it off too.
oh
But
yeah. I mean, I've this year I've had a lot more texts on Sundays and say,
oh
oh
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
seen this going on or I see that, and
yeah,
now I'm
because
kind of
that's when
like
they
getting
have the time and to
right.
think about it. And yeah,
Right. And now I'm getting to the last 3 weeks. I've kind of been like, okay, I'm not answering the call on Sunday. I'll wait till Monday morning at like 9 a.m. and say,
yeah.
hey, I finally got your call. So let's go ahead and deal with this issue that you got, and
It's hard to do. I
yeah,
carried a separate phone for years until I just was annoying, just
right,
because I couldn't control it. I couldn't shut it off. But
right.
do you guys
Oh yeah.
carry separate phones or anything for like the business line or whatever?
No,
I used to have
I've
to.
only had one.
I used to
Yeah.
have to. It's the phones are so good now, man. You really only need one, but it used to be I had one that was purely it was a BlackBerry, but it was just talk and text only, and that was for customers. And then I had a touchscreen Android Samsung phone for myself. But yeah, I got to where now I can just kind of turn the phone over, turn it
Yeah.
on do not disturb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You really
Right.
got to be diligent about it, but it's hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So our next question, I see one that just popped up. We're going to go with this one. Josh from Caravan says, what's one piece of advice you wish to take in business or life?
Mm.
So anybody want to jump on that one?
Can the Jeopardy music play for a minute and we think about it?
Yeah. I mean,
Play it, Mike.
you got it on there. I mean,
Play
go
it.
ahead.
I don't have
Play
that.
it, Mike.
I've got music on here, but
Get us some thinking.
That was
yeah.
You got him all right.
Yeah.
Josh
It was a matter
I'll-
of time before that sound popped up, Mike.
I'll work on it.
Itching
Coming
for
soon.
it. Like, when
Coming
is that?
soon.
When am I gonna play that?
Uh,
What is one piece of advice you wish you took in business or life?
Wish you took. So this is past tense. Okay.
I mean, I would say not to rush stuff. Always, to say no to a customer. I mean, I'm always the one that kind of, says, yeah, I can do it. And, and I'm always in a rush if a customer asks me, hey, can you do this? And I'm always like, yeah, I can do this now. And then it backs me up for the rest of the week because I, spent that extra 45 minutes pushing in that bush for them or changing their irrigation head or something, when I could just come back and do it, later on in the day or another day. I guess that's my good advice is just, you don't always have to say yes. You can always say no sometimes, it's not always, if they're a good loyal customer, they're not going to go nowhere. If, they're going to say, okay, well, if you don't have the time for it, that's fine. I understand that, so that's definitely something I've been practicing this year is telling a lot of my customers, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
We are booked out till frickin' January, or I found out yesterday. So I'm just kind of, saying no to a lot of customers. And I actually had 2 today say, okay, well, we'll revisit that next year. So it's like, you don't have to say yes. So, what about you? Anybody got any advice?
I mean, I can bounce off of that one and say no. That's a huge one. Should have
Right.
learned to do that a long time ago. And this year, I feel like this year too, it's been a lot more since we've been squeezing down, and just trying to, work with just myself and one other guy. And I've had to turn away a lot of customers too,
Right.
whether they're the slow payers or you could tell they just didn't appreciate you as much as other ones, and that's a big one too.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to keep rolling with it. Business and life. Spent like honestly early on, spending more time with my family and friends, and not letting the business just ultimately consume my life. Because that was our passion, right? Still is, but like we were talking about earlier, you have to learn how to shut it off, and especially if you're married and you have kids and all that, you have to, because I've got like, business mindset, go getter, get it done, Mike, and then I've got, dad, and It's almost like we have to have personal, not personalities, multiple personalities, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. That's something, and it's something you learn, Scott,
Right.
like it's something you learn over the years,
yeah.
and you develop it, and it gets better with time, but definitely that. And then shiny object syndrome, avoid the
Right.
shiny object syndrome.
I mean, I definitely agree with you, Mike. I mean, I remember in the past it just, going through and just working like nonstop, and I missed out on a lot of stuff with my.
And you don't
my
realize it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's your passion,
Right.
it's your baby, your
Right.
business, and yeah.
You just got to take that personal time. Like, Dylan's going on vacation here, he's taking personal time, and that's what you got to do. You got to take that personal time. And,
yep.
I definitely agree with you on that one,
Yep.
So.
One thing, I guess it actually just kind of hit this week. But it's like this year has been a little different of a year because we're making like those next steps of like we got a second truck on the road, and that what that involves, and like
right.
So it's just like we're just progressing into those next steps, and I got in a mind of like just. I was like, man, I feel like we should be going more, like more, and I was like, I feel like I should be farther along than what we're doing, whatever.
Right.
But my like come home moment. So, and also like I even had to like kind of get away from like Instagram and YouTube a little bit, because like I was seeing what others were doing, seeing what everyone else was doing. I'm like, gosh, why are we not there? Why are we not up there doing that yet?
Right.
But my come home moment though was I didn't take Facebook off my phone, because I do get a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I post a lot of pictures on our business page on Facebook. And my come home moment was I had a memory pop up from 2 years ago, just 2 years ago. It was me trimming these shrubs. Okay. And at that moment I was like, I was like, that was only 2 years ago. We have progressed so much, whether it's our equipment we have, the amount of customers we're doing, the amount of business we're doing. But then it was like, the other thing was like how far I've came, and just like that mindset of business, like of what, like the comfortability of like, where I remember that shrub trimming, I was nervous as heck. It's probably one of the largest homes I ever done, whatever. Now they're a regular customer of ours. But I was like, I was so nervous to submit that bid. And it was just a come home moment of like, look how far you came. Look what all you have going on. Like, you're not like, you feel like you should be farther, but then it was like, just go back 2 years ago and see like what has came from 2 years ago, like what we're doing, what we're getting involved in project wise, all this. That was like, okay, like we have actually progressed quite a bit. Whether it's projects we're taking on, amount of customers, what we've invested in the business, not even equipment wise, like when it comes like our books and all that stuff, our website, all that, just like where it was to where it is now, it was just like a come home. So I would say just like really try not to worry about what those other people are doing, and just really focus on like what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish, and where you're wanting to go, because that is really what matters, not what Joe down the street is doing. And I really like that has been something like I personally have had to deal with like this year. That has been a struggle this year of just be like, what, like we are progressing, what I mean? Like we are moving in the right direction, so.
And where you've come from too, mentally, and your physical state of mind too.
Yeah.
You yourself have grown too.
Yeah.
We all have
accomplished a lot in the last couple of years, Dylan.
Yeah.
It's hard to, it's easy to forget that too, for all of us, anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I guess my little advice would be like, and which is nice about documenting all, like, I mean, doing the documenting thing is like, look back just 2 years ago and be like, holy crap, like those small issues were a big issue then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, so, but yeah. So that'd be my little bit of my little word there.
Awesome. So,
yeah.
Anything, Jay, that you can think of offhand now that you've had some time?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it kind of seems like a reoccurring theme here, but learning to say no, but this is a different type of no. And I've learned it over time, right, as my business has grown. And I'm not big by any means, but just to kind of tell Dylan something, I watched a lot of your YouTube videos, man, and I was looking at your stuff, and I'm like, man, this dude is killing it. Like, he's got some nice stuff. I mean, the projects you were doing, I'm like, this guy is doing it, So I was envious of you looking at your stuff. So just to tell you, you know what I mean? So, like, keep that same moment, man. It'll all come full circle, and proud of you, man, for what you've accomplished.
Thank you.
But my biggest thing is knowing that all money is not good money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've really, really practiced that. Okay. And Scott, Mike, it's like saying no to a job. Okay. You're like, I could go do that job, but do I really want to do that job? So you give it the most astronomical price so you don't have to do that job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You still end up getting the job.
And then you get it.
That's the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
So that was that's a big thing for me, man. And I joke about it all the time, but I'm a tall yard magnet. I mean, there is a network in Nashville of people that only call second mile, call Jaymz. Jaymz will cut that yard. 5 foot tall, he'll cut it. He'll charge you whatever, but he'll cut it. And so as my clientele has kind of fluctuated over the years, I've been able to pick and choose, and it feels good to be at that level where I can turn down those kind of yards now. But when I started, I would take them all on, and now just kind of do them as a, hey, check out this crazy before and after type of thing. I was doing that before that was cool. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say, dude, I don't know. There's kind of a market for it on YouTube.
Dude,
There's a lot of people on there that got
YouTube,
it,
buddy. Way before, But it's learning to say no, man, and not all money is good money, and knowing your worth. You know what I mean? Like you are better than that. You don't have to do that. I've really had to hit that in my head, and I try to keep that in mind. We are professionals. We are good at what we do, and you're paying for a premium service. So I kind of keep that in mind with the things I do. And if it's a job I don't want to do, I will. No, I'm good, but I'll refer somebody. I may have a buddy. Hey, my buddy may want to do this. Nothing against him. Just give him the work because it may not be something I'm interested in. So I've learned not all money is good money.
That's right.
I've found too, like when we try to take on all these different broad array of jobs, something I dealt with over the years, we're not nearly as good at one of those jobs because we're not focusing on that, no matter what it may be, So that's something that goes along with it too.
And on that note too, is like, I'm sure you guys have done it where it's like, you'll take on, say for instance, a string of like 3 jobs that are like, yeah, I guess we'll take it on. I don't really want to, but they accepted a price we're going to make pretty good. So you take those jobs, you have them scheduled out. Then you get the phone call or 2 of jobs that you're like, that's the jobs we want. And you're like,
yeah.
Now I have to delay on doing this awesome job.
You're already booked.
I took these 3 book jobs.
Yeah.
I know I feel like it never fails where it's like literally after you like say, yeah, we can be out there in 3-4 weeks. The day after you get a phone call where it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
how it always goes. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So that's it for tonight, guys. But there's a lot of more questions that were asked to me. So what we're hopefully going to do is continue this series. Hopefully Echo Means Business will let us continue the series. Maybe have all you guys back on another time. I had a great time. I don't know about you guys. I'm assuming you all did. I think 1 hour is, not enough, but I mean, I got probably another 6 questions, plus a lot of you guys have commented. But the next event is coming up in 2 weeks. So join us then, and thank you all for coming. Thank you. Find every one of us on Instagram. Some of us are on TikTok. Some of us are on Facebook. Some of us, you can check us out on our website. You can also go to echomeansbusiness.com and look us up on the UAGs. We are UAG Pros, and thanks for everybody attending. Thanks for giving us some good content, questions to ask, and I think I had a great time. I don't know about you guys. Thank you guys. You guys got anything you guys want to say before we head on out?
I'm just gonna go jump around the house with the PB 9010. It's after hours, right?
Right. Oh yeah. Wake up the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? That'll make the wifey happy.
Yep. Dylan, enjoy
Um,
your vacation,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I wonder how long I can just keep holding the phone up like I'm doing it because they're unloading the car, getting the camper already. So
Smart
I
man.
wonder,
Smart
yeah, I
man.
wonder how
Wait till the
long I
last
can
bag's
keep
out.
doing
Wait
this.
till the last
Yeah,
bag's out.
yeah. No, it was fun. Thank you guys for hopping on here. Thank you to everyone that did join in to the live feed. It was a lot of fun. And Brian Brian's lawn maintenance texted me, wanted me to give him a shout out. So shout out to you, Brian, you're still on here. But no, it was a fun time. It was great to chat with you guys. I really enjoyed it.
It was a good time. Definitely a good time. And
Yeah,
maybe next time we can get maybe a swag pack to hand out to somebody in the audience. But right now, I was glad that you all attended. And, maybe Jay will have something to say right here. Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So this was my first time doing something like this. Very, very cool. I haven't really got to talk to you guys much. I interacted with you a little bit on Instagram and through YouTube before, but very cool to actually put a name to the face and talk to you guys in person and shared some great stories, man. Looking forward to the next session and really, really good guys, man. Proud of all y'all for what you're accomplishing in your business and what you're continuing to do. And like I said, I think we feed off each other, man. I think the community is awesome. The lawn care network, the brotherhood, whatever. It's great, man. I mean, everybody has different ideas and we all share the same strife, the same grief. So like, it's good to kind of vent to somebody who knows exactly what's going on. So it was good just kind of talking to you guys and cracking jokes about it, but still having a heart to heart and going, yeah, man, I feel you did the same thing. So looking forward to the next session, man. And I was going to ask you, Scott, how many people joined in? Were you able to see?
I have last time I checked, my wife was here, so she was checking, and I know we had about 30. So
I think it was over 100, which means somebody gets a haircut, right?
Yeah, it was over 100. Here, I got my little chainsaw back here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
If we had 100, I'm willing to give away a chainsaw. So not a big one, but a little one. So
okay.
Still gets it done. At least that's what I tell her, anyways.
But hey, thank you everybody for joining. Thanks to these guys. We had a great time. Can't wait till next time. So see you guys in 2 weeks, right back here, 8 p.m. Eastern time. See you guys then. Later.
Good night.
I gotta get it in there,
Yeah.